Welcome to Life It with DVD. It has been 1 month since I started doing these videos. I'm excited to have made it this far, and I hope to make it another month. And given that it's been a month, I wanted to do a video on pacing and what is the best pacing for you. So I realized that when going through the whole self analysis process with myself of, okay, what's working, what isn't working, that sort of thing, that every day I wake up and my energy is a little bit different. Sometimes the things I enjoy doing, I don't want to do. Or certain projects I'm working on, I don't want to kind of push through because, well, there's other things that are coming up that, you know, my body and my mind wants to focus on them. Now, that can be because of an energetic thing, that could be because of an obligation. Maybe somebody else is, looking for me to get something done. And ultimately, that pacing is going to be a give and take within myself of like, what do I need to do? But ultimately, it does begin with me, and what does my body have energy for? Where is my mind directing um, me to focus? Like, what is it directing me to focus on today? Um, and I seem to have a very strange pacing, and I'm not sure how many other people out there would resonate with this, but it's like a very irregular pacing where there's things that like I'll start doing and then I'll stop doing them for a few days or something. And it's not that I've lost interest, like the energy is still there, but I want to come back to it eventually. And sometimes, that takes a while. Like it could take, a few hours, it could take a few days, a few weeks, but I'll get back to it in most cases, right? Now, if there's things that have gone on for months that I haven't, I've just stopped, then, the energy is pretty much dead and let it go. Cut it off, right? Don't dwell on it and feel guilty about not or like wanting to get back to it because the energy has dead, right? The energy has died, right? So there's all sorts of things that have this pacing, this strange pacing in my life. And in a lot of cases, it's just there's other things that need to be prioritized or that like I have the energy for. Sometimes, like the other day, it was nice weather out, and I was like, oh, I want to cut these trees down and get this done while there is some nice weather because of this, all these other things, like priority wise, right? I want to go outside and cut these trees because it'll be spring soon. And when it's spring, it's harder to cut down all of this stuff because things start growing. And you then have to like fight through the bushes and whatever to cut down whatever you want. Right now, it's easier to see the trees that I was gonna say the freaking trees. Like, there's nothing wrong with the trees, but it's easier to see the trees to see what is dead, right, and what needs to be trimmed back. Um, another reason is we're starting a family. If you have seen any of my other videos, we're starting a family, and I don't want to be bothered with cutting down trees once the baby's here and, you know, trying to cut up wood. Another reason is, we're getting a wood burning stove and we're going to have that installed. So I want firewood to start building up wood piles and have that set up so I can split at a later time, maybe during the summer or whatever. So there's all these reasons that underlie the pacing. And maybe that's just a strange thing that I do because there's a lot of like what feels like forward thinking in the order of operations of how the pacing needs to be. And because I wanted to get to the trees the other day, I'm just using this tree example now. Other things were sacrificed, like my meditation. I didn't get to my meditation 2 of the 3 days this week that I typically do it on the weekdays. I was a little bit disappointed about that, and it's interesting because you can feel like when you don't get to the meditation, certain sort of habits and attitudes, they might start to unwind a little bit. So the good thing is I have done the meditation for so long that it's easy to get back into doing the meditation, right? Feels good, and I did it today. It's excellent. Very easy to clear the mind and just relax into it. But when you're starting new habits, right, it's very important to be practicing every single day on the pace that you need to do it so that you can make it a habit. And projects are a different thing, but lifestyle stuff, things that you want to be doing every single day, well, that's going to have to be, a ritual, right? Something that you're doing with consistent pacing. The projects, on the other hand, for me, that has a little bit of a, weird give and take pacing, depending on the priority. So maybe this is a very normal thing. Maybe it's just a prioritization thing. However, it really does feel like it's an energy that's pulling me that direction and less of a priority, but it's balancing with the prioritization of, time and the order of operations of what makes sense. But ultimately, yeah, it's got to be something that is right for you and right for where your body is getting into action or how you're feeling about certain things. Obviously, there's certain things that you can't avoid, but you need to do your best to, right, push through it and do your best with it. But if you can follow the energy that you have on a regular basis for the projects you want, for the things you want to do, given that those things that you want to do are actually productive things that are going to contribute to your long-term success and a good lifestyle that you want in the long term, right? Ultimately, being life fit, all this channel is about doing things with a solid foundation and building habits, building attitudes, building behaviors that are going to work for you over time, that really just build your life up to grow and be a better person and be the best version of yourself, right? I mean, we all want to try to actualize, and in this crazy world that we have right now, it's easy to get distracted by the chaos and the turmoil and the stupidity and every distraction there is out there. And I do think it's important to know what's going on, but it starts in here, right? All around you. It starts with your energy and directing it in places that you can control so that you have more energy. Right? So ultimately, this is a very holistic lifestyle. If you want to try to live with me. I'd love to just share with you, what I have done, the things that I do, the way I think about things. I think it's beneficial, and there's a lot to be gleaned from it. I mean, I'm always learning too, right? I'm no expert, and all the experts that I've looked at, they don't seem to know. Like, they don't seem to know what every individual needs, right? I mean, I think everybody really needs to have a customized approach to their life. Everybody's an individual and is unique and is going to have their own pacing and the things that work for them and don't. And everybody's different, has their own experiences. So, what is your appropriate pacing? What drives you? Is it something that's a feeling? Is it your mind? Is it a kind of irregular pattern to your pacing and how you get things done? love to hear about it in the comments. If you like this video, or that'd be great if you could have a like or put a like down, or subscribe. That'd mean a lot to me as well. Otherwise, have a good weekend. Pace yourself. Take a break, right? It's good to have a good pace on the weekend and take it easier and let the work week be for work. But anyway, that is what works for me. Whatever works for you, let me know. Anyway, till next time. See you later.